Imagine a world where the streets are lit not by electricity, but by oil lamps, where chaos reigns in the oil markets, and a single man emerges to dominate it all. This is not just a story of wealth. It's a tale of power, innovation, and controversy. Welcome to our channel, where we dive into the extraordinary life of John D Rockefeller, a name synonymous with unimaginable wealth and ruthless business tactics. Let's begin. Rise of a Titan. Rockefeller's ascent to the pinnacle of American industry is a tale of vision, strategy, and unwavering resolve. In 1863, during the height of the Civil War, Rockefeller saw a golden opportunity in the burgeoning oil industry. He entered the market with a single oil refinery in Cleveland, Ohio, under the partnership of Rockefeller and Andrews. Recognizing the volatile nature of oil prices, Rockefeller's genius lay in his focus on refining oil, betting on the need for refined petroleum products. By 1870, he founded Standard Oil, a company that would come to symbolize the epitome of corporate success and monopolistic power. Rockefeller's strategy was meticulous and calculated. He streamlined operations, aggressively negotiated railroad rates, and systematically acquired competing refineries. Through these methods, he not only minimized costs but also maximized efficiencies, setting new standards in the industry. By the early 1880s, Standard Oil controlled a staggering 90% of U.S. refineries and pipelines, showcasing Rockefeller's dominance as a titan of industry. His rise was not just about personal gain, but about fundamentally transforming the American oil industry, establishing a model of corporate efficiency and control that would echo across industries worldwide. Master of monopoly. Rockefeller's journey from an ambitious businessman to a master of monopoly is a testament to his strategic acumen and relentless pursuit of control. By the late 19th century, Rockefeller had orchestrated the consolidation of the American oil industry under the umbrella of Standard Oil, utilizing tactics that would forever alter the landscape of business in America. His approach was multifaceted. He negotiated secret deals with railroads to secure cheaper transportation rates, a tactic that undercut his competitors by lowering his shipping costs significantly below theirs. He also pioneered the use of vertical integration, taking control of every part of the oil production process from drilling to distribution, which not only slashed costs, but also increased his influence over the entire industry. Perhaps most controversially, Rockefeller engaged in predatory pricing, temporarily slashing oil prices to drive competitors out of business, only to raise them again once he had secured a larger market share. These strategies cemented his reputation as a master of monopoly, capable of bending an entire industry to his will. Through these means, Standard Oil grew into an unparalleled commercial power, dominating the oil market with a mix of innovation, ruthlessness, and strategic brilliance that would eventually provoke public and governmental backlash. Wealth beyond imagination. By his mid-50s, Rockefeller had amassed a fortune that was unprecedented. Adjusted for inflation, his wealth would easily surpass today's richest individuals, making him the first ever confirmed billionaire in history. His fortune was built on the back of Standard Oil, the behemoth company that monopolized the oil industry in America. By the early 20th century, Rockefeller's assets and wealth had grown so vast that his personal net worth accounted for almost 2% of the entire U.S. economy. His wealth was not merely a function of business success, but was also a symbol of the immense power that could be amassed in the rapidly industrializing world. Adjusted for inflation, Rockefeller's fortune would easily eclipse modern billionaires, putting him in a class of his own. The scale of his wealth enabled him to influence economic and policy decisions at the highest levels and paved the way for his later philanthropic endeavors. His financial legacy prompted a revaluation of business practices and antitrust laws in the United States, fundamentally shaping the trajectory of the American economy. Rockefeller's wealth, beyond providing material opulence, represented a pivotal shift in global economic paradigms, illustrating both the potentials and the pitfalls of the industrial age. Philanthropy or penitence. Rockefeller's wealth and influence reached their zenith. His focus shifted towards philanthropy, sparking debate over whether his charitable efforts were acts of genuine benevolence or a strategic attempt to rehabilitate his public image. After decades of ruthless business practices that earned him as much criticism as acclaim, Rockefeller devoted a significant portion of his fortune to causes such as education, health, and scientific research. He established the Rockefeller Foundation, which played a pivotal role in public health and medical research, leading to significant advancements, including the development of a yellow fever vaccine. Moreover, his funding helped create prestigious institutions, such as the University of Chicago and the Rockefeller University. Critics, however, argue that his philanthropy was a calculated effort to counteract his monopoly-driven reputation and to secure a favorable legacy. This perspective views his donations as a form of penitence, an attempt to cleanse the stains of his earlier business tactics with charitable works. Whether viewed through the lens of genuine philanthropic intent or strategic image management, Rockefeller's contributions had an undeniable impact, profoundly shaping educational and scientific landscapes in the 20th century and beyond. Impact and legacy. Rockefeller's impact and legacy are indelibly imprinted on the fabric of American society and the broader economic landscape. His business practices at Standard Oil not only defined the archetype of a modern monopoly, but also catalyzed significant changes in how governments regulate industries. Rockefeller's approach to business, emphasizing efficiency, market control, and vertical integration, set standards that are still studied in business schools around the world. Furthermore, his philanthropic endeavors laid the foundation for modern philanthropy, introducing a structured approach to charity that focuses on addressing the root causes of societal issues rather than merely treating their symptoms. The educational and research institutions he founded have continued to contribute to global advancements in science and education. However, his legacy is also marred by the harsh tactics he employed to build his empire, sparking a debate that persists to this day about the ethical responsibilities of business magnates. Nonetheless, Rockefeller's influence remains a powerful example of how business leadership and philanthropic efforts can intersect to forge a lasting impact on the world. Strategic genius or ruthless opportunist. Rockefeller's reputation as either a strategic genius or a ruthless opportunist depends largely on one's perspective of his business tactics and their implications. As the architect of Standard Oil, his strategic acumen was undeniable. He saw opportunities where others saw chaos, particularly in the nascent oil industry. Rockefeller's approach to consolidating the oil markets under his control involved pioneering strategies such as vertical integration and the development of an extensive pipeline network, which drastically reduced costs and increased efficiency. However, his business practices weren't just about innovation. They also involved aggressive tactics like securing illicit rebates from railroads and temporarily lowering oil prices to drive competitors out of business. These maneuvers showcased a level of ruthlessness that reshaped American industry, but also led to widespread criticism and a push for regulatory reform. Whether one views him as a visionary who paved the way for modern corporate America or as an opportunist who exploited loopholes and weaknesses at the expense of others, Rockefeller's dual legacy as a strategic genius and a ruthless businessman continues to provoke debate among historians, economists, and business professionals alike. Rockefeller effect on shaping modern America. Rockefeller's influence on American business and society, often referred to as the Rockefeller effect, has left an indelible mark on the fabric of modern America. His practices at Standard Oil not only shaped the petroleum industry, but also set precedents for corporate structure and strategy that resonated across all sectors. Rockefeller introduced concepts like vertical integration, which became a blueprint for corporate success, by advocating for control over the entire supply chain, from production to sales. This approach minimized costs and maximized efficiencies, dictating the operational strategies of future American corporations. Moreover, his actions directly led to the enactment of antitrust laws, beginning with the Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890, which sought to curb the powers of monopolies and foster fair competition. The regulatory frameworks established in response to his empire have continued to influence American economic policies and corporate practices. Thus, Rockefeller's legacy is twofold. He was a pioneer of American industrial expansion, who also inadvertently catalyzed the advancement of legal and ethical standards in business practices. Funding science and society. Rockefeller's vast fortune was not only notable for its sheer magnitude, but also for how it was strategically deployed to fund science and society, pioneering modern philanthropy. After stepping back from day-to-day business operations, Rockefeller devoted much of his wealth to causes that could provide long-term benefits to humanity. He established the Rockefeller Foundation in 1913, which quickly became a major force in public health, medical research, and the arts. This foundation was instrumental in funding efforts to eradicate hookworm and yellow fever, significantly impacting global health. Additionally, his contributions to education through the creation of the University of Chicago and support for historically black colleges and universities have left a lasting educational legacy. Rockefeller also heavily invested in scientific research, helping to establish the field of biomedical research and fostering institutions like the Rockefeller University. His philanthropic vision was clear: to use his wealth to improve human knowledge and welfare on a global scale. As a result, Rockefeller's riches helped catalyze significant advancements in science and education, setting a high watermark for how private wealth could be utilized for public good. That's all for today's video about Rockefeller. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section down below. And make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.